So I'm getting ready to mark out this house for cabinet layout. We're finishing up framing today and all the trades are gonna start coming in. So I'm just getting a little bit of a head start. I've got some room to work. I'm gonna lay out my cabinets so that they know where to run electrical for my under cabinet lights, my appliances, plumbing for my sink, my dishwasher. Mechanical needs to run the gas line for the range, the vent for the hood, or we're actually doing a microwave hood here. I think that's it for mechanical that I can think of off the top of my head. But I'm gonna go ahead and lay that out, all the cabinets. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here throughout this house as you see the process. I've got the cabinet designer plans right here. I printed out the wrong copy, the small copy. I have another copy where each one is on its own page. This was just the page that they needed me to sign off on, so thank God for these. Okay, first things first, I need to add a 1/2 inch as if, just assuming that I have drywall in here already. So 1/2 inch plus 1.5 inch for my refrigerator end panel. So I'm gonna start off with a 2-inch mark here. And the reason why you do like this point right here is if you just do this, it could be, it could be off a little bit. That actually marks exactly where that measurement needs to be. So you usually do 2 marks just to kind of make sure you know exactly where that's got to be. So then I've got 36 inches for my range, and then the outside another 1.5 inches. So it should make that 39 plus my 1/2 inch, so 39 for the outside of that, and then 38 for the inside. All right, then from here we start with some base cabinets, and here we're gonna go with a 30-inch drawer base. So mark 30, and then I've got a 12-inch. It's like a full height cabinet. I think it's like a Spice or something like that. So we'll go 12 inches. And I've already built this house, so it should line up, but I'm gonna go both ends just to make sure I've got my 30 inches in between, just in case they threw this off by a couple, 1/2 inch or something. Cabinets are not forgiving at all. So we've got 36. Okay, so my corner cabinet's gonna be 36. So I'll start with that. And I'm gonna add the 1/2 inch for the drywalls. 36.5. Then I'm going with our 30-inch for my drill base. Right in that line, 30 drawer base, and then we got that 12-inch cabinet again. Okay, so now we need to make an alteration to the cabinets and need to make a decision of what, I don't know why it's smaller, but it is. This 3-inch difference on this house for some reason. Never understood why this happens. Because obviously they're building per plan. CAD file we could send over to the surveyor. Surveyor marks the foundation. I don't know if the designer or the architect, when they redo the house, they make it slightly different. I don't know how it happens, but it does. And that's why we do this every time. We don't assume that just because we built this house, it's gonna be the same every time. Okay, so I need to get 3 inches off this wall. I think what I wanna do to start with, I might have to take this down to 9-inch cabinet, but I'm gonna look at the catalogs for these cabinets and just see what's available there. There's a 3-inch, a 6-inch, and a 9-inch. It is right. I printed off the wrong set of plans, so the house is not different, which is good. I printed out the set before they made the revision on the last house that we did. So I just need to make one change right here. This is not a 12-inch. We have a 9-inch to the left of the range and a 12-inch to the right of the range. This is a 9-inch Spice cabinet. So now this should be 30, right at 30, perfect. I need to do the wall cabinets. I'm gonna go ahead and break this off. So we added a window. I actually took it from upstairs and I'm bringing it down here. So they still got to cut this 32-inch by 52-inch in. I'm going, and that's my center line right there. So 57.5. So we've got a corner cabinet going in here. That's gonna be 24 inches, add a 1/2 inch for the drywall. So I'm gonna mark my 24.5. And then, looks like I decided to put a 12-inch beside that wall cabinet. That gives me plenty of room because my opening is right here. The jamb of the window's probably gonna sit something like that. And then once we do the drywall up here and then we go back and do our trim and our casing, I got 3.5-inch casing, which you gotta reveal. It's gonna sit like this, so I'll have this little bit of space right there between my cabinet and my window casing, which I wanna give that little bit of space. And I decided to put this window in here and change up some windows up in the bedroom. There was a window on the headboard, one window on the headboard wall, which kind of makes it a little bit weird and difficult to be able to do a nice trim wall or trim out that wall right. So that's how we did it on the first one. I didn't like it, change it up for this one. So then I have a window here, a window there, and then I had another window in front of the hallway. And then in the bathroom, what I did is I took this window that was full height, and the one in the bathroom that was short height, it was fine, it could have been full height. Moved that to the bathroom, took a shorter window that will sit under the cabinets and bringing it down here to give some space, some more light right here in this kitchen. So on the other side of this window, I'm doing a 24, but I gotta get it to line up through the base cabinet, so let's lay out the base over here. So now the other side of this corner cabinet will be 36 again. So I'm gonna go 36.5 to mark, add for the drywall. Looks like we got an 18, 24, 24. Now I want to get the total measurement, which is 102.5, really 102, but 1/2 inch for the drywall there. So it ends up here. Now what I had figured was a 24-inch cabinet. Let's see how this lays out. 24, puts it right here. So now from that cabinet opening, it looks like I got like 5 3/4. And this one to that one, bam, 5 3/4. So worked out perfectly. So window's gonna sit inside. We've got this wall cabinet right here. You want your cabinets, your wall and your base cabinet to line up. That's why I started down here and then brought that up here. Make sure that 24 is gonna work out. So we've got 24 inches. And the reason why I'm marking out the wall cabinets is for the sake of the electrician. He needs to run his under cabinet lights under each one of these. And then we've got 24 inch, because our quarter cabinet kind of comes like this. So I need to mark this 24 going this direction, which hits me right here. And these don't have to be as precise because they're just gonna kind of stub it in somewhere in that area, and then we line it up. We've got the light to work with. Actually, this wall was a little bit different, so I'm gonna go off the plans on my phone here. Let's say it goes from 15, 24, 15. Yeah, so we got 15, 24, and then we've got 15 again. So this should line up down there, which looks like it does. Then we go 30. So what I'm gonna do here is go this 39.5, which is the refrigerator end panel, plus the drywall. Just gonna write it one more time up here. Looks like I've got a 24 and a 15. So then symmetrically, everything lines up from one side to the other. It doesn't on the base cabinets here. We got the range, we got 12 inch to the right, 9 inch to the left because of that 3-inch difference there. Otherwise, I need to put all these fillers and stuff in, which it's not gonna look bad because I've got an island here. So, sitting over there looking, you're not really gonna notice. It's not really gonna be that big of a difference. Most people aren't gonna notice that. So we'll have, just regular base cabinet here, and then this is gonna be a 9-inch spice drawer right beside the range. And then the cabinet above here is a 30-inch cabinet. For a little bit. That equals us with the 30. Okay, so let me just check again. Got a 1/2 inch over here. That's what I didn't do over here. So the 1/2 inch. And then our 15, she puts me right. So list mark right there. 15 puts me like right here. $24, 15 again. Okay, we got 24, 15, 24. And then boom, now we got 30. So 30 and microwave. Okay. That part is done. Okay, so cabinets typically will, if you're doing stock base cabinets and not doing custom, you can make them any size you want or need. But on base cabinets, stock cabinets, they're always gonna go in a 3-inch increment. So it's always good if you're working with, I do a lot of my cabinets are import cabinets. So I'll get their catalogs from them and make sure I know what pieces and parts they have. Because for example, I think at one point in time I was trying to make these a 27-inch cabinet, but I want these to be drawer based. So this and this is a drawer base. They have a 27-inch base cabinet, but not drawer based. So I kept these at 30 and we just made some adjustments right here to make it work. So, you know, ultimately you're trying to get a particular design. You want certain things and there's ways of altering it. But at the same time, you'll see some cabinet designers, they like to put fillers between your cabinet. And I try to, you know, figure out, like in this initial design, I think I had filler here, filler over on the side of the fridge. I want to try to avoid that at all costs and maybe just put my fillers only at walls. So if I had to fur this out more or less, I can do that and then make the adjustments going that way. So that's what I did in this one right here. Okay, so this tells my electrician where all of my wall cabinets are going to be. And it tells my plumber where the fridge is going to be, my mechanical contractor where the range is going to be, and the microwave for the electrician and the mechanical contractor to vent that out. Now I need to figure out the island placement here. I'm gonna start to lay out the island, and I've got my range here, the sink is gonna be here, dishwasher is gonna be over here, and I wanna make sure I have enough space so that you can sit here and open up the range or open up the dishwasher and still have space and not feel cramped. So I'd like to go a minimum of 42 inches of space between the front of this cabinet and here. So I need to add basically 67 inches, 67 and a half inches, because I've got 24-inch cabinets, another inch of overhang, inch and a half, and then ½ inch for drywall. I'm just gonna round this out to 68. So I'm gonna go 68 off this wall. And then off of this side, same thing. But I wanna check something. It's 8. And see what I end up with. 79 and a half. Brings me to, just for a quick reference, I want to make sure I have enough space here that doesn't feel too crammed. So this gives me 39, basically 39 inches off of that wall, which is plenty. I don't have cabinets coming here, anything. It's plenty enough of a walk space right here to not feel cramped. It does come in from this mudroom area, pantries right here, but I feel fine with that. So I wanna make sure I have all these things that I want in the island. So I'm gonna go ahead with that. So I'm cool with this number right here to give me 42 inches in between. Let's see here. So I've got 39 and a half over here and then 42 over here. I might kick it over and just kind of center it in the space. That's what I'll do because it's so small of a adjustment that I'm just gonna center it in the space here. So right now I got 16 and a half because I got ½ inch drywall. So I'm 39 over there, 42 over here with a delta of 3. So I need to subtract an inch and a half. This should put us here, which now gives us 40 3/4. And that should give us the same here. So 26 with the drywall with the overhang. I'm doing here 66.75 minus 20. Okay, so it gives us 41 1/4. What did I say the side was? Exactly, 41 1/4. All right, so that's why I'm gonna put this island. It's right here. So with that said, I'm gonna go with a straight line. Just gonna connect these, making this. By the way, not sponsored at all, but these markers right here for a job site are so much better than a Sharpie. A Sharpie, all that sawdust will get all up in here and then they'll just dry out real quick. These things, you can go right through sawdust. It doesn't bother them at all. So we got 24 plus 12 with our overhang. That's my overhang, my countertop. And this is the back side of my cabinet here. As you see, I'm going right over sawdust and it's still writing. Tried it with a Sharpie and it will not write anymore. All right, next is looking at what I have for this layout. I believe it was 18 trash. Yeah, so I have 18 inch, 36 inch for the sink. We're good there. All right, that's the kitchen. Kitchen's marked up. So just finished up out in the field, marking up for one of my houses, getting ready for all the trades to come in. A plumber, the electrician, the mechanical contractors, all gonna be coming in next, and we wanna make sure that they know exactly where to rough in all of their stuff, all the piping, all the duct work, all of, different things like the venting for the hood, even things like the under cabinet lights, the dishwasher, and the range. If this helps you visualize how to properly lay out a kitchen for your trades, drop a like and let me know in the comments, do you mark out your cabinets on the floor along with other details so that your trades don't have any questions? And if you're tired of running jobs where the trades are guessing, losing time, or plans don't match the real world, it's time to tighten up your systems. Watch more videos like this, and if you're serious about building more efficiency, book a free strategy call with me by clicking the link below, and I'll show you how to take control of your builds. I'll see you in the next video.